Yeah, born in Edmonton. I was born in 1996. Like my dad's from Turkey. He's like born and raised, and they do like the pretty old school, like traditional. So he had like a rearranged marriage. I didn't know I had a sister until like a half sister until I think I was in grade 5 or grade 6. And then she came and stayed with us.
Oh,
she,
so you
yeah. She's older though. She's like mid 30s probably, and she's really good for herself though. She came here and then went to school to be a nurse, and it was exciting, right? Like you're a kid and then you finally have a sister. It's pretty sweet. And then she moved here with her husband.
Okay, so now she lives in.
Yeah, she lives in Calgary now, actually. Yeah, and then she's a nurse. She has two kids. Yeah, and then Kamal's like my older brother who like born and raised together here. He's like 2 years apart, so we always like.
Is he now in Edmonton?
Yep, he's in Edmonton. Yeah, he's a teacher, a high school teacher, and him and his girlfriend. He's got like a little baby girl. We were super close as kids, and then like I kind of like grew up fast and like drifted apart a bit like from the family. He went to school, like he went to like university and things like that, and I pursued football, and I was always into like tattoos and things. So as cheesy as it is, there was like this show like LA Ink, remember that, like Kat Von D? Yeah, and I was like a kid, and it was like the first time I saw tattoos, like you know what I mean, that I remember the machines, like the prep, like the tattooing, like just seeing like, because I always drew as a kid, and I was like, holy shit, man, like you can do that on people's skin, like people have that on them. And then it was first like being obsessed with like tattoos, like being a tattoo artist was like so like out of reach at that point. Like I was a kid, I was like 9 or 10 or whatever. Yeah, so then like that obsession kind of started, and then I remember like in like junior high sitting in like computer class, and like me and Hudson would be, I don't know, you're supposed to be doing something, but we'd just be like Googling tattoos. Like we'd be good. And like, and you're a kid, and it's like every tattoo is like blowing your mind, right? And then I was like always drawing at this time, right? Like football didn't take over my life yet. Then I started working at a skate shop in West Ed, selling skateboards and like clothes and stuff like that, just like classic skate shop. And then, this guy from like Ontario, he just had like, a machine, and then he like mentioned it one time, and I was like, no fucking way. I'm like, can you tattoo me? And then he's like, yeah, like he didn't give a shit. And then, you know what I mean? He's like, yeah, totally. Like, and like back then, like, yeah, it's not like, oh, it's machines from Amazon, like probably shouldn't, like it's probably not gonna be sharp, it's probably not gonna lay down a line or anything. But I was so stoked. I remember like he's like, yeah, we'll do it like this day, and just like looking forward to it. A little piece on the wrist, but like not knowing shit about healing tattoos. And then it was like itchy while I was healing, so like like you'd scratch it and like the ink would fall out, and you're like, what the fuck? And then it ended up just being like a scar. First like tattoo in a shop was on that S trip in Costa Rica. We went to like a little surf town in like, I think it was like Tamarindo. Someone mentioned tattoo shop, and I was like, I'm gonna fucking find this tattoo shop. Boom, go find it. Wait till they open, and the guy was like, what do you want? And I was like, I don't fucking know. I saw like that, like the Eye of Ra type thing, and then I was like, oh wow, that's pretty fucking sweet. And then I came home from that trip, and like my mom, like as soon as I got off the plane, I was like, I'm like a little bit worried because it's like right on the forearm. Like my dad's gonna fucking kill me. Like he's gonna lose his fuck. Yeah, he's gonna explode. And then my mom's waiting at the airport to pick us up, and like all my friends' parents who like grew up with, and I get off the plane. My mom's like, you got to get a tattoo, didn't you? I'm like, how'd you know? She's like, I just fucking knew you were going to do it, man. She's like, I knew you were coming back with a tattoo. And then after that, it's just kind of like, that was it. Like, the floodgates were open. Like, I still remember, like, the first time seeing, like, a stencil, though. And I just wanted to take it home. I was like, this is fucking so sick. Like, I remember asking the artist, and he was just like, obviously a little bit like, what the fuck? And I was like, yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you take it off, it's all just, like, looks like fucked. But I thought it was, like, the coolest thing ever. But then after that, it was, like after high school, it was, like, again, it was, like, football. So it was, like, there was, like, 6 years where it was football and like working out, and then like
you didn't have any tattoos.
Oh no, I still kept getting tattooed. Yeah, like still kept getting tattooed while playing football and stuff like that. Like I had like some shit on my arms and my chest and like my traps, like legs and things like that. Like nothing too crazy. And I didn't start playing football until high school. Like grew up playing like hockey, lacrosse, things like that.
That's in primary school.
That was like your like elementary, junior high, like always played hockey. And then in high school it was like either play volleyball or football. And then it was actually my brother who's just like trying to like drag me to football, like. And then so it's like the CJFL, it's like the junior league after high school. It's like the same age as university. Nothing pulled me towards university. Like there's nothing where like post-secondary, and I didn't want to like go do something I wasn't passionate about, because I'd flunk out in a second, right? And I just like fuck myself for the future. You kind of go from high school where it's like you're partying like with your friends and stuff like that, and then playing football. And I don't know, like I just if I'm gonna do something, like do the best I can and like try to give it my all. So it's like that's what I did. Is in the off season you're working out every day, and then I was like sober for 6 years, you know what I mean? Like, just stopped like drinking and everything, and like totally changed lifestyles, which is great. Like, I had like zero regrets about it. Ate food, worked out, and like rested, and just kind of like took it like way too seriously at like that age. I played quarterback in high school, like, so I was the guy who threw the ball, and I was the same height. I was like 6'4", 6'5", 163 pounds, dude. I was like a twig, right? And then I got introduced to working out in grade 12, and then I was like, as soon as I saw progress, like, and it was just like, fuck, that was it. But it's kind of like this pressure I put on myself, where it was like every pound mattered and stuff. And then like every year I'd come into the season like heavier. It was so funny. So it'd be like, yeah, it was like 165, and then it'd be like 185, and then like 220. Like, but I had such bad body dysmorphia that like I never thought I was big enough. And one time I stepped on the scale and I was like 309. And I wasn't like fat, I was just like bloated because I'm like eating all day, right? Like, you have like all these like heavy meals, and then like a weight gainer shake on top of it. You're just fucking like just so full. And then I stepped on the scale, I was like 309, and I was like, holy shit. But I still didn't think I was big enough. Like, that's how fucked up it was. Like, that's how like mentally like fucked up I was. And then
that was the moment you realized, okay,
I didn't realize until after. That's the thing. It's like, you don't figure this shit out till later, right? Like, because after that, I think that was like my 4th year. And my last year playing football, I was like 280, 270, and I felt great there. Like, I like that. It's just like the time to, like, finding the time to eat that much was like the hardest thing, because it's like all day. It was insane. It's like, and then I worked like road construction while playing football, and that was another reason why it was so hard to like do that shit, because like you wake up, you go work road construction for 8 hours, and then I would go to the gym after for a couple hours, and then you go straight to football, and then you're there until like 9:30, sometimes later. Those nights, and it's like, because you practice every day, and I'm pretty like self-destructive, so it gets to a point where I just like, I'll fuck everything up. Like, I will just like blow it all up. I'll like 3rd year I quit playing football. Like, I stopped like in the middle of like my junior league eligibility. Like, I remember just mentally fucked. I knew I didn't want to do it. Like, I knew I wasn't into it. And then yeah, like that year off of football, like I like partied and shit like that, and it was just like, it was fun for like a week, and then it was just like it's like yeah, I was an individual, right? So it was like, I'd always spark curiosity, and like my dad was super traditional Turkish, so he didn't really understand.
So you're first generation born here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would just be drawn to things, and you know, whether it was like piercings or like tattoos and shit like that, or like,
He didn't like that.
no, not at all, right? Like, he's like, and it's like, especially where he's from, it's like, you don't really like disrespect your body, like that God gave you type thing. Like, born in Turkey, like raised in Greece a bit from his grandfather, but like served in the military. It's like, to get citizenship and stuff, like you have to if you're male in Turkey and stuff like that. And like worked on the farm, like oldest born son, so like didn't get to go to school, but he gave everything like for his family, right? Like that's all he did. He worked really hard, you know. Yeah, like because when I got to a certain age, and I like heard about like how my dad was brought up, and I heard his story, it obviously like changed everything, right? I was becoming more of an individual, and it was like we just hated each other, just disagreed with like everything that we like. I just disagreed with everything he does. He disagreed with everything I do. Now we're on like way better terms, you know what I mean? And like see when I can, and like it's when we see each other and things like that. But it's like, yeah, I work like at least 6 days a week, if not 7. So if I see him, it'll be on like that one day, and we'll like do stuff together, whether it's like building or like cleaning or just. I think I got my like building, like even like tattoos. Like I think I got like my building and like constructing things. Like I was like fucked with Lego when I was a kid and things like that, and just like obsessed with it. And I'm pretty sure I got that from like my dad. If I didn't do tattooing, I was gonna go into like woodworking or some shit. My mom, she came from like a pretty religious home, like in like Alberta prairies and stuff like that. And she like left when she was like 16. Like she left home when she was just like a little girl. She was very much like her own woman, like very early on. Like moved to Vancouver, opened her own cafe, like all by herself. And then she would like bump out to Whistler on the weekends. Like my mom's very empathetic and incredibly understanding. She'd understand like how I felt about my father. But yeah, like my mom always knew, like, you know, like things always work themselves out. It just sucks it took so long. My dad and mom's dynamic now is like, it's pretty interesting, because it's like they'll bicker and banter, but like my mom needs my dad needs my mom. For a long time it was just like I just wasn't really there. Like I was just like, I wasn't really like around the family. So it was like, it honestly wasn't that bad. Even like in high school, like I knew like my dream job would be like to tattoo, like way before like playing football. If I could do anything in the world, it'd be that, but it's like, it's so unattainable, so I'm gonna do this, you know what I mean? So like did football, and then like yeah, while still getting tattooed, like the passion was always like it was always still there, right? And like just like be like obsessed with it, and like I'm still like drawing here and there. And then it was like that last year of football, I was already checked out, so I stopped playing football because I'm like I can't do this, like I can't do shit like this. It's like so demanding, and I'm not passionate about it anymore. And I was like painting and stuff like that, and like drawing at that point, like yeah, like getting back into like having more time for myself and like getting back to my art. Yeah, and then it was like COVID, and I was like, man, fuck it, I'm just gonna go for it. Like if I want it bad enough, I know I could do it. Gave it my all and actually achieved it. Like actually achieved like getting to a level, and I was like, holy shit, this works. Like I was like everything was being drawn towards it, and it's like I know I've like I'm obsessed about this, right? Like hard work and obsession will always beat like talent. Yeah, like getting my first machine and shit. I was like painting and stuff, and then like my friend was like, yeah, like you can tattoo me if you want. I'm like, no fucking way. Doing that first tattoo, it was just like this jank ass rose on his calf, like in his basement. But it's like I did it. Like it was like so sick. You know what I mean? Like because then I was like, hey, like I need to do the next one. I need to get better. I need to like find more friends that'll trust me to tattoo them and like get better. I was like confident enough that I could tattoo like public people. There's like a studio for kind of startups downtown. It was like $500 a month, like your own space, and then got got a sink put in, got like a business license, got like health inspected. That's all I did. It was just like draw on tattoos, and it was awesome, right? It was super exciting, but you know, like I wanted to be in a shop and I wanted to learn because there was things that like I wanted to do, but I just didn't know how to do it, and that's what the apprenticeship is for, right? Like I would have died to like been able to be in a shop like learning. Like I feel like I'd be so much farther in my careers and like artistically,
way faster,
tattoo wise, yeah. And it's like that was the trade off, right? Like it's like, hey, I can't afford this, like figure it out, and then like if I didn't try as hard as I did, like it's going one way or the other. Either you're gonna like be able to figure it out and like do some like solid tattoos, or you're gonna be like you're gonna be a fucking joke. And then got enough of like a portfolio that like Showdown was hiring, and like being born and raised in Edmonton, like I knew what Showdown was. Like it was a staple. It was like the first place I got my tattoo like in the city besides like Costa Rica. It was one of those things again where it's like kind of like unattainable, but I had enough of a portfolio. Like I saw that they made a post where it was like they were hiring for tattoo artists. I sent the email, and I was like, and I said everything in the first email. I'm like, hey, like my name's Evin. So you guys are looking for an artist? Like I didn't do an apprenticeship. Here's my portfolio, and like, you know, I want you to like I'd really love to come there and like learn. Like I was like super eager to learn. Like that was the most important thing, is like I just really want to be around good artists. Like I know what like Showdown is and things like that. And then yeah, like luckily enough, Bobby messaged me back, I'm pretty sure like by the end of that day, and he's like, yeah, like give me a call tomorrow. And I called him, and he's like, yeah, like if you want to come by the shop, like you know what I mean, like come meet the guys and stuff like that. And I was like, no fucking way. Crazy to think of if I didn't like send that email, like to be honest. You go there and you finally have these conversations and yeah, like learn stuff and like hear them and stuff. And I remember like Carl is just like like a wizard and like an endless book of knowledge. It's like him like blasting things off, and like Marshall and Justin were like the trad ripping trad there and stuff like that, and just learned so much. The minute I started working at Showdown or like tattooing, like I worked every day the shop was open. I've always worked like the 6 days, if not the 7. Like I don't want to not tattoo. Like I don't want to not get better. I don't want to not grow. Like, and it takes a toll on everything, man. But like this is my passion. You know what I mean? And with passion comes ambition. So it's like self-induced isolation, but also at the same time, like I don't really like regret it because the sparks were flying. You know what I mean? Like when I finally got to that point, and like that was my life. Like you know, my life is tattoos. I love that. Like when you're tattooing, like there's nothing else you're concentrated on, right? Like when you're pulling those lines and shit like that. Like it's just kind of like the appreciation of like, oh, that was so fun, or like I'm so stoked on that. Or it's like I drew this up and like had it in my head, and then like when you're done like shading and everything, you're like it goes exactly how you want it to. You're like, fuck, man. And then yeah, like that's like perfect. Like it's awesome. Like I don't want to be like the best traditional tattoo artist. Like I don't want to, like, you know what I mean, like how fucking crazy is that to say, right? I've never had that mentality where it's like I want to be the best at this, and like I want to be able to have a style. Like I want to be the best at like the tattoos I do. Not even like not like my style. Like it's so much smaller than that. It's like I just want to be the best at what I do and what I'm doing right now. I think I've been around enough shitty people and around enough like good people to be open and appreciate when you get good people. And yeah, I'm fortunate enough where like a lot of these people I've met through tattooing, like these clients, like now we're friends. Like you book a new client, it's like you never know who you're gonna get through that door, right? Like you never know who you're gonna be in someone's story. Sometimes, yeah, it's like that joke where it's like getting tattoos, like you're like a therapist sometimes. I used to be so bad at like talking while tattooing because I would just like be so concentrated. Like obviously now I'm more comfortable and confident. Yeah, dude. I have to like, I'm not. There's no way I'm talking when like I'm like pulling a line. Fuck, man. Like I never would have thought I'd be in like a people business. I work out in the morning, like it's like my physical shit. Come home, like make breakfast, and then like at like 5:30 on. Like 5:30 a.m. on, it's like work. It's like, but it's not. But again, it's not even work, man. It's like fuck. It's just drawing. Like it's listening to music, drawing, getting ready for the day, like drawing for appointments or like painting. And then you come to work, and then you tattoo, and then you go home, and then I usually have like, because I get up so early, I burn out at like fuck. I gotta go to bed at like 8:30, 9:30. So I have like I don't know, like 2 hours to like cook, and I just cook the same meal every night, eat it all until I'm like eat as much food until I'm full of shit, and then I go to sleep. And it's that every day, and I'm like totally cool with it. It's more than enough for me.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
Thank you, man.
Buddy, thank you. That's it.
It was super nice.
My pleasure, man. Roller coaster.